And look who we have joining us, our next guests, the ladies of Celtic Woman joining us direct from Ireland. Muirgen O'Mahony is here, and Caitriona Sherlock joining us. She is the newest member of that incredible Irish all-female ensemble of incredibly talented artists. Welcome, ladies, to the Jim Masters Show.
Thank you. Thank you for having us,
Jim.
Oh, it's a pleasure to have you here. Now, Muirgen, you've been here a couple of times before as we've celebrated some really amazing things with the 20th anniversary, which is hard to believe, and holiday concerts and so much more. And you guys have another fabulous holiday concert tour that's happening, right? The Symphony tour, which is amazing. Tell us about that.
We do indeed. Coming up fast. Yeah, we actually just released our new Christmas album, so a lot of the music on that album will be featured in the upcoming Symphony tour. So we're really excited to bring these new arrangements, new music to audiences all across the US. It's going to be a fantastic time.
That is amazing. Congratulations. There you go, folks. And we'll tell you more about it. It's going to be something really spectacular. You guys always put on a terrific show. And now you have Caitriona joining us as well. Caitriona, welcome to the Celtic Woman family. How does it feel to be a part of such an illustrious and legendary group?
Thanks so much, Jim. Yeah, it's a whirlwind to even begin to think about the fact that I'm now in Celtic Woman. The legacy that has gone before me is just incredible, and I've admired so many of the ladies throughout the years. So to be a part of it now, as I said, it's kind of overwhelming in a way, but so grateful and so excited for the tour coming up and the album coming out today, and just, as you said, being a part of the Celtic Woman family. It really has that feel to it.
It really does. I imagine, yeah, it is like a family. And you've got a terrific background for folks who are learning about you for the first time. You're up surrounded by the rich traditions of Irish music and song, right? And from a young age, you immersed yourself in traditional Irish music and lots of great singing, and going on to be a multiple All-Ireland champion of traditional Irish singing, right? And you've proudly presented Ireland's music, language, and culture on stages across Europe and the USA. So you are a seasoned performer.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I've been very lucky with the upbringing that I had. In the house there was always music, there was always stories of culture. My dad, he's a fantastic reciter. He's an amazing poet. He would have been involved in drama over the years. So I got a feel for the stage from a young age, and he always encouraged me to always go out there when I would be singing to tell the story. I grew up learning traditional singing and Sean-Nós singing, which is like the old Irish style, and essentially that is the stories and tales of our ancestors. And my dad always kind of said, when you get up there on stage, you have to tell the people the story, and that's the most important thing. And I guess those stories have carried me across the waters and far beyond for all this touring and singing. And I'm very grateful for that proud history of traditional song.
Which is absolutely amazing. And I'm sure, Muirgen, you guys are very excited to welcome Caitriona into the family, right?
Totally. Caitriona fits like a glove, and I actually can't express how much so. We got into the studio, and it's a whirlwind for anyone to step into. It's an amazing opportunity, of course, but it's a whirlwind to step into the kind of, as you say, the legacy of Celtic Woman. And the day we started recording in studio for this album, Nullig, was our first time coming together as a group. And you'd swear Caitriona had been there from day dot. She just absolutely took everything in her stride, was an absolute pro. And I think, Caitriona, your voice, first of all, just gives me goosebumps, but it really shines through on this album. And I'm so excited for people to get to experience it live in the flesh as well, because yeah, that history of storytelling, I think, is just so evident in your performance and your singing. So I'm very excited.
Oh,
And
thanks,
yeah,
girl.
we're just blessed to have her. And as well, I always say it's 50% of like, you know, how talented the person is, but it's 150% of who the person is, and like, and their heart and everything like that. And Caitriona has that in abundance. So we're so delighted to have her.
Oh, well, just to hop on what you said there as well, like the day we all like got into the studio together, it was crazy, but in the best way. Like the excitement, and then when we started to hear our voices blending together, there's nothing quite like that moment. You kind of go, oh my goodness, this is so amazing. Like as creatives, to get to be together and create something so cool that you can stand back and say, yeah, I'm proud of that. Like that's what we did. And like now the excitement of heading out on tour and bringing what we created in the studio onto the live stage, and then seeing people's faces as they'll react to it, and the live orchestra, it's actually getting me like little goosebumps thinking about it. So excited.
Yeah, the sound too. You know, there's something amazing to just the production value of Celtic Woman, the instrumentation, the arrangements, the just the way you guys. I mean, the gowns, the wardrobe, just everything is really extraordinary. It's really a full-on production, right? It's something that there's a lot of time and attention and care that goes into it, and when people are there, I mean, the dancing and then playing, you know, having fun with the musicians and teasing each other like friends. And, you know, it isn't all just everybody sits there and just goes, you guys, you have fun with the audience, you have fun with each other, you tease each other as you're singing these fantastic songs. And that makes it for a fun experience, right? You've been doing it for a long time, and it's it just really adds to the whole presentation and what the audience gets out of it, which they love. They love the playfulness as well as the professionalism that sort of is blended in and out, right?
Absolutely. And I think, you know, as you say, the dresses and everything like that, Celtic Woman is known for that kind of poise. And I think from when it started to now, it has evolved and it has changed in so many ways. And for sure, I can say for definite, in my time having been with Celtic Woman, it has, you know, the dancing has kind of evolved as well, and that interaction with the audience and interaction with each other as well. And you mentioned, you know, those kind of moments on stage when you're having a little bit of fun with each other. You know, we could be out on the road for nearly 4 months, and the easiest part of the job is the show itself, because we just, you know, we love getting up on that stage. And it's those moments, those in-between moments of kind of interacting with your castmates and musicians, and then also with the audience, that make it so worthwhile and fresh every day. And yeah, we have an absolute ball. So I'm so excited for Caitriona to get in on it as well. We're gonna have a scream.
You know, it's amazing too, all the, you know, concerts that I've been to. And we were at the 20th anniversary too. I went to the one at the big Mohegan Sun Arena, which was something, and it was sold out. It was packed. It was
wild.
Everybody was just on their feet. They couldn't get enough of it, which is really fantastic, especially after all these years. For folks watching, I've had this relationship with Celtic Woman ever since they came to America, and Celtic Thunder, and a lot of the Irish artists through my work on PBS as a host, and have interviewed really mostly all of them on television here in America. And then they've come on the Jim Masters Show series as well. So I'm very familiar with how it all got started, you know, David Downs, just the whole concept, the way it was supposed to be really a one-off, a one-night only kind of thing. And then it turned into this extraordinary, worldwide, internationally beloved group, which is amazing, you know, and Grammys and all kinds of stuff that have come with it, singing, you know, at the White House. And there's been a lot of amazing things that have resulted from being a part of Celtic Woman as well, right? Wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. I mean, for me so far anyway, that like performance opportunities that I could never have imagined in my wildest dreams, you know, getting to play at the Kennedy Center with the National Symphony orchestras like you know, the Utah Symphony, Colorado Symphony, everything like that. So it really and truly, I mean, I completely understand when Caitriona says, like, you know, it's overwhelming, because this is something that, you know, we would have grown up in Ireland watching Celtic Woman on screen. So then to step into that role where you're now a part of that world is very overwhelming. And I can say for sure that it has given me opportunities that I never thought I would see in my lifetime. So yeah, it really is something magical.
Definitely. Like, I remember watching the specials, like the Slian special and all the different castles and stuff. And as a young singer, especially as a young traditional singer, I never imagined actually any of those doors being open to me, because like as a traditional singer, you kind of sing in, you know, in like local pubs and the competitions and stuff, and seeing then those songs that are such like integral parts of our legacy and our culture, and seeing them presented on a global stage by Celtic Woman, seeing those songs that came from, you know, the hearth by the fire, then sung all around the world, and seeing people's appreciation for them, that kind of, I remember the first time I was like, wow, I wonder could I ever do that? I wonder could I ever be like those ladies singing those songs? And they set this kind of, you know, benchmark in Ireland, definitely for like young female singers to kind of look up to and say, look, we could do that, you know. And it's definitely, you know, paved the way for a lot of artists in Ireland. I remember Muirgen, I saw you in the postcards from Ireland down in Killarney.
Oh yes,
yeah. And I remember, like, it was just so cool to see it at home, you know, and see Celtic Woman in Ireland, which is so rare these days. And I remember at that moment I was like, this is really cool to see it in the flesh. And then I went to the 20th anniversary, which was super cool as well, bringing it all the way back to the Helix, and now to be a part of it. Like, when I just think of the young singer that like was watching it and telling me like, oh my god, these guys are so cool, to where I am now, to step into that role, as Muirgen said, it's overwhelming, but it's really cool, like the benchmark it sets for young people coming through.
That's amazing. You know, as I mentioned, as people are discovering you, maybe who don't know you as the newest member of the beloved Celtic Woman, you really are a seasoned performer, Caitriona, toured nationally, internationally, solo artist, guest vocalist with Irish Christmas in America as well. And you also appeared as a featured soloist with the Abilene Philharmonic Orchestra in Texas, and a member of the internationally renowned ensemble Nuna and their female vocal group as well. And you've been all over Germany and Iceland and Italy, and it's incredible. And you have a Bachelor of Music degree too from the University College Dublin, right?
Yes, I do. And I was very lucky in my time in UCD. I was a member of the University College Dublin Choral Scholars. So I learned a lot of my craft there, a lot of vocal coaching, and just kind of honing in on what it was like to firstly sing classical music. I hadn't really done a lot of that beforehand. It was mostly in the tradition. And yeah, I learned a lot from Dr. Desmond Early, who was in charge of that ensemble, and my vocal coach, Sheila. She was an absolute darling. But yeah, getting my Bachelor of Music from UCD was not an easy job in the end, because my final year was, I think, during COVID. So you can imagine how that felt like.
Yeah, everything stopped. It was very difficult for people in school and everything. It was just the lockdowns and everything. I remember there was a group that I was interviewing, and it was a band actually from Ireland, and there were 5 people in it. but their studio was in one city and they all lived in different cities. And at that time, there was some sort of a rule where you couldn't leave more than a mile away from your house. So they wanted to go to the studio and do everything from the studio and play, but they couldn't. They had to be home at their 5 different locations in Ireland. They couldn't get to where the studio was because it was past the mile.
Yeah.
Glad that's passed, right? Oh boy.
Thank goodness for live performance being back and us being able to go out on the road and do what we love and share what we love with people along the way, because that's what we need. We need a lot more of that feeling that you get when you see a live concert, that everything that you worry about in your day-to-day goes out the window and you're just there for that 60 or 90 minutes or whatever it is, and it's beautiful.
You know, it's amazing. We've talked about this previously, but there is a real affection between the United States as well as Canada, Australia, and the world with Irish music, culture, food, everything to do with Ireland. And it's really amazing. What do you think that is, Muirgen? What is that love, that thirst, especially here in America? Anything Irish, no matter what it is, we inhale it.
Sure. Well, as you know, there's so much, history between Ireland and the US. The expats that would have gone out and oftentimes never come home. So there will always be that very strong, link between the US and Ireland. I think for us, and I think maybe why people in the US in particular connect so much to Irish culture and music and, is because it reminds them of a time previous, or maybe someone previous as well, a loved one that might have come over in a boat and never come back to Ireland. And I think people are constantly searching for connection, especially in this day and age, not to sound like a broken record, but we can be so disconnected in so many different ways and, have our phones glued to our hands and all the rest, that I think particularly as Caitriona said, in a live performance setting, it really is unlike anything. And I think when it's under the umbrella of Irish culture and Irish music, it allows people to really feel connected to their heritage and connected to the people around them who are experiencing this live show at the same time as them as well. But yeah, I mean, Ireland does have a very rich cultural history and it is very strong. And I think people like to hold on to that. And as I say, in a time when things can feel a bit like all over the place, it's like something that's very steadying, I think.
You're right. It really is. It's something that is a real go-to that makes you just feel really good and like everything's going to be okay. Because the Irish, they like to have a good time and this humor and wit and wisdom and just make you feel good. It's something in the culture. Songs like Danny Boy and Parting Glass and things like that. It's funny, in Ireland, they might not get the same reaction as it will across the waters. And that is because we're surrounded by it here and oftentimes maybe could take it for granted. Whereas I think to see people very viscerally be impacted by those kind of songs is really something quite special. And I definitely didn't expect it the first time that I went on tour with Celtic Woman, to see songs like Danny Boy to have such a powerful impact on audiences. But it connects people back to their families and their history, which I think is so important. It really does. And what's interesting is in Ireland, they don't look at celebrity in the same way that they do like over here across the big pond in America. You're more of, hey, hey, Bob, or hey, Steve, and hey, Brenda. Where here it's like, because it's funny, because before we went on, I said to Caitriona, I said, you guys are now, celebrities. And she goes, we are. And she's looking at it as being a trained performer. I sing, I'm a performer. This is what I do. This is my craft. But yeah, you get into that whole, it's a different kind of thing. When you come over here, as you've experienced, I'm sure too, it's like, what? It's kind of cool in a way, huh?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I feel like Taylor Swift, Always wanted to be like Taylor Swift. She had a Christmas tree farm. I have a dairy farm. You know, we're the
Oh,
same.
see? What part of Ireland are you in right now, Caitriona?
Monaghan. So it's right along the border of Northern Ireland and the Republic. But I'm on the Republic side.
And where are you positioned right now, Muirgen?
I'm in Cork, down south.
That's it. You know, it's and you yourself too. I know we're talking a lot about all the great memories, but you are truly in a versatile and dynamic performer, because your career spans well over 15 years. And you've also yourself performed across the globe, and you are equally at home with different genres of music too, classical and musical theater, contemporary genres too. And you bring this rich blend of vocal artistry and storytelling to the stage, which I think is amazing. And you have a first-class honors Bachelor of Arts in Music from the Cork School of Music too, where you specialized in classical vocal performance and studied classical flute as well. And you earned your master's in musical theater from the Royal Academy of Music in London, graduating with distinction. And you have performed as a soloist with the RTE Concert Orchestra, Dublin's National Concert Hall, and productions including the music of Andrew Lloyd Webber, which is amazing, Showstoppers, the music of Ennio Morricone, of course, which is another amazing talent from yesteryear, and most recently appeared in a recording of new works too, that we'll talk about, that are performed by the RTE Concert Orchestra. Tell us about the affiliation with the RTE Concert Orchestra and some of the things you've done with them.
Yeah, well, first of all, let me say, I don't think I've ever had my CD written back to me like that. I was like, how did I?
All right, right.
Like,
I did that. That's me.
It's like when Joey says he's a tap dancer in Friends, and
right,
like,
exactly. Right, exactly. It's like I'm here. The Celtic Woman, of course, a wonderful Grammy-nominated group, but it's almost as like I'm doing your introduction to come on stage to get your statue. But it's all true, and it gives people a little bit more of an understanding that you weren't just plucked out of a supermarket, that you guys have lived and breathed this. You're really trained talents who have been brought into this well-known group because of your expertise and your love of the music and your way and your beautiful inside and out, and that all adds to the Celtic Woman experience. So you have this rich background of education and experience.
Bless you. That's very kind of you, Jim. Thank you so much. And yeah, look, I won't sugarcoat it. It's a long and winding road, and I think anyone who is in the arts, particularly in the performing arts industry, it would be remiss of anyone to not bottom line that. It's a tricky profession, but it's one that's so rewarding. And to go back to your question about the concert orchestra, that was kind of like a shooting star moment. I was doing a musical in Cork at the time, and the musical director had been contacted by the artistic director of the concert orchestra. This is going back to 2016 maybe, and they were looking for a soprano voice, and I got recommended and was brought in to, perform with the orchestra. Had never performed with an orchestra at this point professionally, and was on stage with West End stars that I was like doughy-eyed looking up to, and it was kind of the start of a beautiful relationship with them. And I owe them so much. I feel they've given me such incredible opportunities and incredible experience that I think has really fed into my role with Celtic Woman today. I suppose the most pivotal experience with the concert orchestra during COVID, we were filming a musicals evening, and it was with Cillian Donnelly, who plays, well, he's currently in the arena tour of Les Mis, but he also did Phantom and the rest, and Susan McFadden, who is an absolute star on the West End and just as a person, and is obviously one of the previous Celtic Women. And I remember at the time, she and I just like hit it off straight away, and we were chatting, and she was like, she's like, I think you'd be really good for Celtic Woman. And I didn't think anything of it. And she was like, no, I think you should contact them. And I genuinely kind of just, as well, it was during COVID, I was kind of questioning my existence in the music world, in the world in general. And so I just didn't really think anything of it. And between the jigs and the reels, a number of months went by and I was contacted to come in for an audition. And obviously at the time there was the quarantining rules. I was living in the UK and had to come home, quarantine for 14 days, went in for an audition. And yeah, about a week later, found out that I got Celtic Woman. So it feels all very stepping stones onto the next thing. So that's my long-winded tale on the concert orchestra to Celtic Woman.
It's really absolutely amazing. It really is. And, were you watching Caitriona, Celtic Woman on TV? Were you following them? Were you aware of them? And then you had this opportunity. How did that opportunity come for you where you got to be a part of the group?
Yeah.
They didn't pluck you out of a supermarket either. She wasn't shopping in the produce aisle. That's the one. No, there was a lot more involved, right?
Yeah, it's funny the way Muirgen says as well, like people think, oh wow, like here you are at this moment, like that's incredible. But you have always been people in the creative world, they've always been working behind the scenes. There's always the graft for years and years. And just like honing our skills and constantly upskilling, as it would be. And every day in life's a learning day. Every day as a musician is a learning day. And you just keep motoring on until, maybe the call comes someday, maybe it doesn't. And I was very lucky to have got lots of experience out on the road with Irish Christmas in America. That was spearheaded by Oisín McDiarmid, fantastic fiddle player from Sligo. And I think it was getting that opportunity to go out on tour and, go on the road. It's not all sunshine and rainbows on the road, but you learn so much from those experiences. You learn, how to mind your vocal health, how to get on with other people for a long period of time, and just gathering experience, because a lot of it comes down to the experience and how you're going to be for that length of time on the road. And I'm very grateful for all that I learned from the different groups I was in with Anuna, Sister, Irish Christmas, Cheoil. And then yes, the call came from Celtic Woman to come and audition, and I was absolutely delighted. I had auditioned a couple of years ago. They'd got in contact with me a couple of years ago, and I was just fresh out of college at the time. It was my first real life audition, so you can imagine what I was like, deer in headlights moment, because as I said, it's something I've always wanted. And I went in there and I was like, oh my god, this is such a big opportunity. And I was happy with how my audition went. Obviously didn't get it at the time, and hadn't had a lot of experience at that time either. So yeah, that was one of those times where you're kind of like, okay, it's not my time. And as I said, got a lot of experience on the road with different groups, and got a call this year, and the rest is history, I guess. I'm just over the moon. But it is like there's a time and place for everything in your life. And I remember being devastated at the time. I was like, no, that was my dream. But you know, it's not just one shot. You things come around if they're meant to be, and I'd kind of made my peace with, if something's meant to be, it'll be. And I'm a big believer in, like, what's for you won't go by you, in every sense. Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And if you just stay in your lane and keep focused on you and not the noise going on around you, like, things will work out the way they're supposed to.
You remember the time you got that call, Muirgen, when they called you and said, would you like to be a part of Celtic Woman?
I actually, you know what? They didn't. I got an email, and I feel like in my experience with like auditions and things, rejections usually come by email. Yeah,
usually. And sometimes relationship breakups are emailed now too, and texted, right?
Very formal. So I saw the email come in and I was like, well, I didn't get it. And I opened the email and I saw like, I think I saw like, I'm delighted to inform you. And I think I just went like blind. And I was living in London at the time, and I was living with my partner and some other housemates as well. And I think they thought that like someone had died. Like I literally was just like hysterical, and I was like, it was just this kind of mix of like, obviously like ecstatic and euphoric, but like petrified. And I think it speaks to when you really want something, and you know, you've been following something for so long, and then that is realized, you're like, oh, what do I do now with this information? So yeah, I remember I actually was only thinking about it recently, and it was just kind of hilarious because I think all my housemates were like flocking around being like, what's going on?
What is that? Exactly. What is happening? She's all excited. Yeah. She's running around.
Yeah, she's hysterically crying.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like, how do you react? Like, if you're crying, someone's like, oh my God, something's wrong. And you're like, no, it's just really happy tears. I'm just so happy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly right. Do you like all the travel, all the touring? Because it does take, it's a big production. So there's a lot that goes into it, and the preparation and the rehearsals. And then you're going from city to city. And you guys, you hit a lot of different cities too, and different countries. It can be exciting, but it can also be exhausting too, because you're going from one to the next to the next. You have to do it all over again. But it's an enriching experience to meet people from all over the world, right?
Totally. And I know, Caitriona, you've like toured the US as well, but I think it's one of those things that touring can really suit some people. And I personally feel like it really suits me. I love a bit of chaos. Like I don't think my nervous system does, but like I'm like, woo, this is so exciting. But like, when in actual fact I probably should be put in a dark room for 10 hours. But I love being on the road. I have to say, it without a doubt it is hard. You miss family, you miss friends, your sense of meals and workouts go kind of out the window because you're just constantly moving. So it is very hard to kind of keep some semblance of like your usual structure that you'd have at home. But it's just amazing. It's great to get to see so many different places that I never in my wildest dreams thought I'd get to see so many of the places that I have done, to get to experience, the different audiences that each city offers, and they differ vastly in each venue we go to. So it's amazing, and like we do the best we can in terms of trying to get out and see as much of each place as we can. It can be hard because you are running on fumes sometimes, but we get on to the bus after each show and we'll travel to the next city, and oftentimes have broken sleep coming in off the bus into hotels. But more often than not, we will always try to kind of get up the next day, even to grab a coffee somewhere and take a few laps around, and then get to the theater. So it's an exciting time.
It really is. And the holidays are coming up as well. And you have this amazing symphony tour, but also we'll talk about that in just a second, because this is actually a very special day, isn't it? Because that new music, that new album, the Christmas album, is available. It is out. Congratulations. Absolutely. Right. Up with the album. And
up the album.
Up the album. It's funny. I don't know if I mentioned this. I was marching in the St. Patrick's Day parade in New York City a couple of years back before the pandemic. Some friends of mine are part of the County Cork contingent. So they said, hey, Jim, would you like to march with us? I said, boy, I haven't marched in the St. Patrick's Day parade or any of those in since I was in school. We were marching with the Boy Scouts. So I was in the Air Force ROTC, and I was in the color guard at the front where they hold the flags, and then they have the rifle, and we throw them up in the air, and they spin, and we catch them and all. So that's when we were marching last. And I said, sure, I'd like to be a part of it. So it was very funny because we're marching along with all the other groups, and people are lining the streets, Fifth Avenue, everywhere. cheering, and it's loud, and it's New York, and very passionate crowd, and very excited, and it's St. Patrick's Day. Everybody's feeling good, and after the parade ends, everybody goes to all the pubs, and there's these pub crawls. They'll go from pub to pub to pub to pub to pub, which is amazing. And
we would never do that in Ireland.
You would never do right. Well, you don't have to do it just on one day. You could do it every day. Like it's pub crawl, that's daily, right? So, and you go into the places, and they're like this. Everybody it's amazing. If you have something to consume, you're like this. So nobody bumps into you and spills. But we're marching along, and I'm with County Cork because they asked me to join them. And we went to St. Patrick's Cathedral, for the Mass first. And then we went to the Irish sort of consulate and for the breakfast. And it was really a beautiful thing. But we're marching, and, people are cheering, and it's a New York crowd, and they're very enthusiastic. So I kept hearing, I guess I wasn't hearing it right. I kept hearing people saying up something, up something. So I said, I saw kids say it. They were pointing to us and saying up something, up. And, senior women, that are a little bit older, and they're yelling up something, and they're pointing to us up. So I said, well, it is an enthusiastic New York crowd. Are they saying up yours? Are they actually saying to us while we're marching and smiling and waving? Did that little kid say that? Did that older woman actually say that to us?
Yeah.
And we're going back, and I'm going, you too, and you too, and you too. It was hilarious. So my friend, as we're marching, she elbows me. She says, Jim, what do you think they're saying? I can't make it out. It's so noisy with the bands, the music. We're marching, cheering, yelling. Everybody's happy. St. Patrick's Day. I said, it sounds like up yours in a way. And I'm just smiling, marching with everybody and just saying, you too. And thank you, you too. And she says, that's not what they're saying. I said, what are they saying? She said, they're saying up Cork.
Of course. Yeah.
Up Cork. You up Cork. Oh,
that's
no.
so funny. Yeah. Up Cork. Yeah.
Because everything is like up this, up, right? Yeah.
Up it. Yeah. Totally.
Right. It was funny. And
that's hilarious.
It was hilarious. I had to tell that story just because of the Cork connection with you.
Up Cork. Yeah.
Up Cork. Congratulations on this.
Woo,
now,
you.
Nollaig, that's the Gaelic, the Irish word for Christmas, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tell us about this breathtaking brand new album, this is like the debut, like today it's just coming out, where you can experience the magical sounds of Celtic Woman, the holiday season. It's truly encompassing tradition and newness, and capturing the spirit of Christmas in its most delicate form. Each song is a window into winter's evening, some familiar, some reimagined, all wrapped in the feeling of joy. Really, really nice. Congratulations on the new album. And tell us about it. What was it like putting it together, the selection of songs, what people can experience when they hear it?
Do you want to go, Caitriona?
Am I taking the floor on this?
You take the floor.
Yes, we'll give it to the newbie. The newbie takes control now.
The funny story is, when I got the call to join Celtic Woman, it was like, yeah, so next week you're going into the studio to record an album. And I was like, okay, cool. So to have created this incredible piece of incredible album with these people was amazing. Like the composer Brian Byrne, he's incredible. His vision, his music, the treatment of these songs, some old, some new. It was a real treat to get to explore this music and get our teeth into it, as we would say, and just find our footing together. I think it turned out so beautifully. We had two special guests on the album. We had Shabelle and we had Tara Howley. So it's really, really cool to have that female collective, that girl power all together. There's a newly composed song on it, Nullag na Mán, and it's truly beautiful. Another favorite, I think, would be Silver Bells. I love Silver Bells, obviously a holiday favorite. But I think just the version that we've put together, it's super cool. It's super fresh as well.
Yes.
You know, there's been 20 years of Celtic Woman, 20 something years, and too many more. And just to bring that Celtic Woman sound with it through this album, but also adding that little fresh sprinkle through it as well.
It's amazing. I got to hear it in advance, and it really is something. You guys just knocked it out of the park. And like you said, there's so many amazing songs: Little Drummer Boy, Wexford Carol, Silent Night, also God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen. Some of the ones that people are familiar with, of course, and The Bleak Midwinter. You also add in the Bells of Dublin, Christmas Eve, and Auld Lang Syne, and again, some other traditional ones too, as well as the spiritual ones. And there are 13 on this album, which is absolutely amazing. And it's, you know, it draws from that rich Irish heritage, and there's a certain sound to the arrangements of these songs, and your incredible, powerful voices too, and the musicians who surround you. You've got some of the best musicians in the business who always join you in the studio, but also join you on stage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
So good. Yeah.
Really talented people that are with you that make the magic. So this is really exciting. This is available now, folks. You can go to their website. We've been showing the website, CelticWoman.com. Brand new, hot off the presses, literally, album. It's a Christmas journey, Nullag, which again means Christmas in Gaelic or Irish. And yeah, this is really exciting. And make sure you add it to your collection. If you're a super fan of everything Celtic Woman, you're going to want this. Again, I've personally heard it, and it's fantastic. They got a lot of music out. You can go to CelticWoman.com and you can hear everything. Of course, so everything also, you know, Amazon, Spotify, everywhere else, all the major places and platforms where music is available. And also the tour. There's a wonderful tour that's happening too. And this is going to be something very special. Tell us briefly about the Symphony tour that's coming up.
This is this is my favorite tour, to be honest with you. It's, first of all, just a stunning time of year to be out on the road. As you said, Jim, to get to experience each venue in all of their festive glory is such a treat. But equally, we get to perform with symphony orchestras all across the US, which is just unheard of. Each venue, you know, we play with a different orchestra, and as you said, it's festive, it's Christmas music, but with a Celtic twist to it. And as Caitriona said, I think Brian Byrne has done such a phenomenal job with this new music in, you know, reimagining Christmas music, which is so hard to do. And he really has kind of just brought this new flair to it, all the while really keeping with that kind of Celtic tradition. And he really has such an incredible understanding of traditional Irish music. But equally, he has a fantastic understanding of orchestral cinematic music. And it's just kind of a match made in heaven, the two of those things. And to get to bring it to life with different orchestras across the US is just an absolute honor for us. And yeah, we just hope that people will come out and get to enjoy it in the flesh. I always say, you know, recorded music is fantastic, but it is that live experience of no two shows are the same, and I mean that in a positive and a negative way. You never know what you never know what's going to happen over their dress, you know, of an evening. So it's worth coming out to see if it'll happen. But no, it really is. There's something magical that comes about when you know, music is enjoyed in a live setting, and to experience that wall of sound from a symphony orchestra it's a thing that dreams are made of.
Right. The sound is extraordinary and powerful too, to have the symphony orchestra with you. It just heightens, it elevates everything to a whole new level, right? It's extraordinary. And again, everybody be in the festive holiday spirit. And you guys are always bringing not only wonderful music, but joy and inspiration and humor. You know, we're living in crazy times and the world is all upside down and backwards. Going to a Celtic Woman concert, picking up the album, it'll make you feel good, right? It'll get you to pause and stop and think about love and family and the holidays and the things that are really are important in life. No matter what goes on in our world that's crazy outside our door, we can always still go back to the things that matter most in life. And when you go to, you're always left feeling really good when you leave a Celtic Woman concert. I've been to many of them. And when you listen to the music, you just feel really good. A lot of people are singing the tunes with you. They're laughing with you. Yeah. So it's a full-on experience. Again, for anybody who thinks it's just a traditional concert where you're sitting there like at an opera and you're just going, no. You guys bring the audience in. You're playful with them, and you just have a good time, and you can tell that you're really having a good time. Everything is so well rehearsed, and there's a lot that goes into it. But there are funny moments too that just happen, and you play off each other beautifully, and it is a must. And don't worry, you guys always people go to these and they love them. And
thank you.
Yeah. And again, behind the scenes, I've seen it behind the scenes, all the work and preparation that goes in, you're rehearsing, and just the setup, the staging too is extraordinary, because these are real productions. And I wish you continued success with this coming up, Celtic Woman. It's their fabulous Christmas tour. And if you've been, all of their concerts are great. Something extra special when Christmas comes. They really heighten things, and it's just a beautiful experience. So whether it's your first time learning about Celtic Woman after all these years, or your first time going to one of their concerts, you will not be disappointed. Same thing if this is the first bit of music you're getting from Celtic Woman, you won't be disappointed as well. It's a spectacular, full 13-song Christmas album, traditional, contemporary sounds all blended together, Nálaga, which means Christmas. It's a Christmas journey with our friends from Celtic Woman. Muirgen is here, and Caitriona is joining the team, and you guys are the best, truly. Congratulations and everything, and welcome, Caitriona. It's awesome to meet you, and Muirgen is wonderful. She's a friend of our show. She's been here several times, and you guys are getting ready, right? You're rehearsing. There's a lot. You're starting soon. You've got the album, which is congratulations. Get that now, folks. But you're getting ready for the tour. It's coming up in a matter of weeks.
It's all happening.
Yeah, it's all kicking off, head in the books.
I can see they're like, yes, Jim.
Yeah.
Yes, Jim. It is. Wow.
Do you know what is fantastic, and just something to say as well? Christmas can be like an incredibly difficult time for people. And just on the note of, coming out and enjoying a live performance, it just gives people an opportunity to put things aside for however amount of time. I personally haven't, always seen eye to eye with Christmas time. And I think since joining Celtic Woman and being able to experience kind of what actually it is about, has totally reshaped my kind of perspective on it all. So that's the one thing I will say, is that it comes with kind of an underscore of like an understanding of, times can be difficult, and not everything is the hallmark thing that we should see on TV. And I think coming out to be it a Celtic Woman show or a music show at Christmas time can really help you reconnect to what it actually is about.
That's a great way to look at it, because it isn't always exciting and pleasant and happy for everybody. There's things, a lot of people are going through a lot of things right now in their lives.
Yeah.
And if you can take a moment or two to enjoy the time with Celtic Woman, it can maybe give you a different perspective, maybe help you cope, help you get through things, and at least give you some joy and pause during the holiday time. And like you said, it could even bring you back to the holidays like it did for you as well, which is beautiful, right? So you're all excited, Caitriona, to hit the road?
Yeah, very excited.
That is fantastic. Well, thanks so much for joining us. I know you're very busy, and I don't want to keep you too long because, you know, we're all conversationalists. We can go on. We could put a pot of coffee on and go on and on and on.
I
Love
know.
having you guys here. Truly, you're like family, and you know, this wonderful relationship we've had all these years, myself and Celtic Woman. So, again, come back and see us. We'll more than likely see you on that tour, which was great. I was at the 20th as well. And congratulations on the album. I'll continue to tell folks how to get it. And I really appreciate your stopping by the Jim Masters Show series and spending this time with us at a busy time. And congratulations on everything, the tour, the album, and all that's to come for you and the rest of the ladies and everybody involved with Celtic Woman. It's always a blessing to have you here, and hope you enjoyed the time with me as much as I have with you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jim. You're absolutely fantastic. So lovely to meet you, and hello to all the listeners, and we'll catch you on the road, hopefully.
Absolutely. That's right. We shall see you on the road. Again, congratulations and a pre-happy holidays. And thanks for being with us, Caitriona. Nice meeting you. And Muirgen, thank you for stopping by again as well.
Thanks so much,
I said last time we'll keep the porch light on for you. So the light is on to have you back anytime. Okay, ladies?
Fabulous. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, and say hi to the rest of the ladies and everybody at Celtic Woman from me and everybody here. And we'll see you again soon, okay? You be well.
Take care.
Cheers. Oh, do you want to say something like a farewell or goodbye or see you later in Gaelic and Irish?
Slán go fóill.
Slán go fóill, slán agus bannacht.
I second that emotion. Thanks, ladies. You take care. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Take care. So great to have them here on the show, right? And you got a chance to meet the newest member of Celtic Woman, Caitriona, joining the family there. And the big symphony tour is coming down the pike real soon. So make sure you get your tickets, and you can go to CelticWoman.com to see all of the cities and the tour dates that are happening very, very soon. So we wanted to get them here so we can talk about what it's going to be like. And if you've never been to a Celtic Woman concert event, and that's really what it really is, it's an experience, it's an event. It's truly extraordinary and a lot of fun. You know, we've brought a lot of family and friends to their concerts, and everybody's left like, wow, I really love them. Wow, they're great. Wow, that was fun. Wow, their voices are extraordinary. Yes, yes, and yes, all true, gang. And of course, their new album, which is, again, Gaelic, Irish for Christmas, really, really spectacular. It is out right now as of today, right? We have them on the day of the album release, the debut. Go to CelticWoman.com to learn how to get your copy, or you can go to all the major places like, you know, Amazon, Spotify, iTunes, all the rest. But maybe you want a physical copy too. So go to CelticWoman.com. A lot of people like to still get physical media, so they have it. Make sure that you go to get that as well. So you got the tour coming up, and you will also have the new album, and you get a chance to experience more of the ladies of the incredible Celtic Woman. A real pleasure to have both here on the show, Caitriona and Muirgen, joining us once again. Go back in the archives. You can see all the past episodes where we've had Celtic Woman on our show, and some amazing conversations with each of them. And it's been a blessing. Hey, gang, this is your host, Jim Masters, thanking you for your time this time. Till next time, as I always say, don't forget to love one another, take care of one another, and don't forget to do the very same for yourself. It's really important to do that. And also, give some love to our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV, where this episode is, and all the other episodes, hundreds of them with celebrity friends and guests stopping by. Give a like to this episode, a little thumbs up like there on the YouTube channel. Drop a comment below. What's your favorite Celtic Woman song or memory from the years of Celtic Woman? Share it with us. We love interacting with our viewers around the world. We have an international audience. And yeah, we love hearing that. So, and share this episode on your social media. We would love that as well. So you be well. We'll see you on the next one. Stay tuned. Another great episode of the Jim Masters Show Entertainment Lifestyle Celebrity Talk Show series is coming up in just a second. So enjoy. We love having you here, everybody. We appreciate all the love and support for our series. And wherever you are around the world, you're part of the Jim Masters Show Lovity family. And it's great to have you here. Be well. Check out the next episode and enjoy. Cheers.